Leo, this is your week ahead astrology forecast by Astrology Motivation from Born Without Boundaries. In these weekly videos, I review the major planetary aspects and transits and how they're going to impact or aspect your natal sun and what that means for your bottom line. All you need to know to understand these videos is your birth date. That's it. I translate everything else. I'm going to start off really broad with the big stuff, and then we're going to whittle that down into Leo specific energy, and then I'll break everything down into the 3 decans, which is a group of 10 degrees of Leo, so we can tell exactly how other planets are aspecting your natal sun in particular, because not all Leos are going to be impacted the same way. Let's start with the big stuff, shall we? Let's do it. This is for the week of September 1st through the 7th of 2023. This is a pretty peaceful week. I got to tell you, we came kind of through a very emotional week and a lot of change and big, kind of explosive in that it was almost like popping. Emotional, tense, frustrating energy. And that kind of popped over the full moon that we had in Pisces, which is very emotional energy anyway. It really did give us a bit of reflection as well. So this week is not as intense. In fact, it's kind of slacking back a little bit because Jupiter goes into retrograde on the 4th. Uranus just went into retrograde on the 29th. That means all of our planets except for Mars are either in shadow period or moving direct or moving in retrograde. That doesn't mean anything bad is happening. It really just means nothing should be happening. And it's actually a perfect time, not nothing, but like it's a perfect time. It's a perfect reflection of where we're heading seasonally, at least if you're in the northern hemisphere. We're heading into the fall. We're heading into the autumn. And you don't grow things in the autumn. You know, what do? You take care of what you have and you appreciate what you have and you start making plans for how to use to the fullest the resources that you've got. And that's it. You find a way to make it work. That's exceptional energy for retrograde season. Another great exceptional energy is to learn, to educate yourself on lessons that have been a little bit difficult for you. So let it slow down. It's a time of receiving. It really is. It's not a go get it kind of time. And Mars honestly kind of agrees because Mars is in Libra now and it's direct. It's moving at normal speed, but that's where it's in detriment. And detriment doesn't mean it's bad or it's toxic. It means that it's vulnerable because it's in the energy that is exactly opposite of what it's used to. So it's like stranger in a strange land trying to figure stuff out, like figure it out. What do you mean? And so Aries in Libra takes more time and doesn't move as fast because it's more intent on equalizing things and making things even as opposed to getting ahead. You know, Mars in Libra is just dead set on equilibrium. So that's kind of like, let's take that modality, man. Let's do it. Let's chill out a little bit and just enjoy these beautiful gifts. Because honestly, even though we have been stressed, it's time to take stock of why we shouldn't be, right? Because of what's important in our lives now. So Jupiter goes into retrograde on the 4th. This means learning and education, because how do you expand without pushing outward? You expand inward. And you do that through educating yourself and understanding even different aspects, things that maybe you hadn't given yourself time to explore, right? This is a great time for research and educating yourself. Beautiful energy for that, as well as reflecting on your relationship with your faith and your beliefs. Good stuff there too. It's quiet work, but I think it's important. Venus goes direct on the 4th, on the 4th. Yeah. Venus goes direct on the 4th, and you're not going to feel her really picking up until just before the beginning of October. So there is this energy of, yay, Venus is out of retrograde. That's good, because then that means Mars and Venus are the only two out of retrograde, but she's still moving slow. She's still not moving at her normal speed. But it's interesting how Mars and Venus rules Libra, are the only two that are really moving forward now. So I think we're starting to reevaluate what we take action on based on a reevaluated assessment of what is valuable to us and what is not. Okay? There you go. I said it. The sun, which does impact you guys, hello. The sun is conjunct Mercury by the 3rd. This is beautiful energy. I love the sun conjunct Mercury because it's like light bulb, boing, bright, bright. Realization, self-realization, self-actualization, and also just really clever and confident about the thoughts that you think. Mercury is in retrograde, right? So, but if there's any issues, any problems, what's going on, this is a time of cleverness in review, in retrospective. What can we see? What can we discover? What can we learn? And what confidence can we know, and what can we understand about who we are? And all this energy is trying to Jupiter. So it's like, yes, what we're learning and how we're growing is just going to expand our understanding of who we are and what we're capable of. This is beautiful, actually. We have Mars quincunx Saturn. What does that mean? In the context of everything else, basically self-discipline could get in your way. If anything, it's lack of discipline in yourself. Any kind of impulsivity or impetuousness could really be messing you up. And this is a wonderful time to explore it, dive into it, and get that shit under control. Venus is square to Jupiter, which goes into retrograde. All week long, they're square to each other. This is about overindulgence. It's optimism. Yes, it's very optimistic. It's fun energy. Maybe a little bit too much celebrating, and maybe some of the reflection is on the different ways that we have been indulging too much or even expecting too much. And then we have September 4th, which I want to discuss with everybody because I think it's a beautiful day because something's happening on September 4th that is quite, in my eyes, magical. And that is the moon on September 4th moves in conjunction to both Jupiter, which is at 15 degrees Taurus, and Uranus, which is at 23 degrees Taurus. The moon will come right in between the two, right? Because the moon keeps on moving. It's fast. But for a couple of hours there, it'll be conjunct to both of them. And so we have the moon conjuncting both Jupiter and Venus, both energies arguably of expansion and growth. Even in retrograde, it might be more internal, but it's still growth and expansion and cleverness and seeing things outside of the box. And this is all trine to the sun conjunct Mercury, because it's right about when all of this happens, September 3rd, September 4th. So this is something coming together, and what I put it down was illumination, self-actualization, self-realization, and good news, almost because you finally discovered something or become aware of something that is critically important. So beautiful, beautiful freaking day. I love that day. My favorite day of the week would be September 4th. Let's get into Leo specific energy. What is that? Well, I look at two things. What's going on in Leo, and then what's going on with the sun, which is your ruling dignitary, and though it travels, it will always impact and flavor what you're experiencing. So always check out and become aware of what your ruling dignitary is interacting with, because it'll kind of switch around your modality. For you, the sun will switch around your sense of courage, your sense of life purpose. It will impact you in terms of your, not adrenaline, but adrenaline's more Mars, but inspiration. The sun is in Virgo. No, let's go over Leo first. So what's going on in Leo? Venus is in Leo. She goes direct on the 4th. She's at 12 degrees Leo all week long. So we're talking still about value systems, what we value and what is important to us. The sun, what's happening with the sun? It's in Virgo because it's Virgo season. The sun is going to move between 9 and 15 degrees this week. It's going direct. Of course, the sun always goes direct. It's conjunct to Mercury by the 3rd, which is very bright, brilliant realization energy. It's trine to Jupiter. Guys, this is all optimism of what we're capable of doing. And Virgo is the perfect place for the sun right now, because Virgo is the perfect place for retrograde, because Virgo likes taking stock, and it likes to say, let's be economic. Let's look at how we can use what we already have. Virgos very rarely are spendthrifts. You know, they really like to be very economical and practical. And this is the perfect energy to like go through those take inventory. The sun is also going to be sesosquare or sesaquadrate. Still got to learn how to pronounce that word. Of Pluto. So it's about like 135 degrees of Pluto. This could be tense or just just uncomfortable energy. And what I think that means is that we're being spurred to change. We're being inspired to change, especially after we take stock and after we take inventory. So, how about we move on to the decans? Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. So once again, really beautiful energy for you guys. Leo energy in particular is quite optimistic and relatively warm, loving, and inspired this week. But let's break things into the decans and see what's going on, right? So if you know that your natal sun is between 0 and 9 degrees Leo, you are Leo 1. And therefore, because your natal sun is in the first 10 degrees of Leo, this coordinates to basically July Leos. July 22nd, maybe 23rd through July 31st, you guys would be Leo 1s. Your natal suns are quincunx to Saturn, so there is definitely, like, think of the quincunx symbol, right? It's almost like that, right? It's like it looks like that. It looks like a little A-frame with a line. It looks like a spur. It's like, it's like a spur in your side, right? That's what Saturn is doing. So it could just be a sense of feeling restricted, feeling constrained, feeling like agitated, like you're not able to move around the way that you want to, or feeling like authority, laws, rules, regulations, or even contracts or commitments that you have are really starting to agitate the crap out of you. The day-to-day is boring you, the normality of it all. So all week long, it could even be just in your career in general, you just want something to change, you want more freedom, and that'll basically be going on all year long. At least there's nothing exacerbating it now like we had last week with the moon. That should have helped relieve some of that pressure a little bit, at least for a while. Then we have a sextile to Mars. Whoa, that is powerful energy. Sun sextile Mars is off the hook. Opportunity to get in your body, to get really active, to be really physical, to take action, to have just this energy and real motivation to be progressive and move forward. This is really wonderful energy for you. And if you're at the cusps, Leo, then your natal suns have been in a long-term opposition to Pluto, which means there's a dynamic energy to you and something niggling you to just move forward, to get things done, like a relentless pursuit of things, especially in terms of metamorphosis in your life. This is just an energy that it will be changing you. There will be major changes to your life that you will not be able to avoid. A potent energy to your character. Leo 2s. So, Leo 2s. If you know that your natal sun is between 10 and 19 degrees Leo, you are Leo 2s. This correlates to birth dates between, say, August 1st through the, say, 11th. Yeah, it's in and around there. You guys have the most going on. Leo 1 didn't have a lot going on, but you guys, your natal suns are conjunct to Venus. That's optimism. It's optimism, creativity, and oh my God, you're looking good. Looking good, attractive, really bright, beautiful energy. You are quincunx to Mars, and with that conjunction to Venus, there could be some stress or strain when it comes to your relationships or your motivation or sexual drive. It could also be just this sense of just something getting in the way. It's not horrible energy, but it is a little bit of frustration. Let's put it that way. We do have a square to Jupiter as well, which means over decadence, overindulgence, and maybe because Mars is in Libra, is trying to say like, yeah, you ain't moving in the right direction. There's too much going on here. Got to settle some shit first. We have a long-term trine to Chiron, which is all about healing, especially how you feel about who you are, your personal value, your personal maybe attractiveness, any kind of even physical aesthetics, to heal them and to empower yourself through learning through the pain. This is what's been going on for a year for now, and it's going to continue for the next year, especially those of you born at around 19 degrees Chiron. So that would be like the 8th, the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th of August. Especially you guys, it's healing. It's a cathartic energy. And then we have a square to Saturn, which is also any way that you feel restrained is going to show you what you need to be cut loose of. So there will be this sense of almost where you need to control yourself more so that you're not as controlled externally as much. And then we have you guys within 30 degrees of Mercury conjunct the Sun. That's a lot of stimulation. All of that energy is self-actualization energy. It's self-realization energy, and it's motivation through frustration. That's what's going on this week. Things that you have to change, places where you're bored, and realization of really the causes or maybe the roots of why all of these things are happening. You let me know in the comments below. I would love to know. Then we have Leo 3s. So if you know that your natal sun is between 20 and 29 degrees Leo, you guys are Leo 3s. This correlates to birthdays between August 12th and the 22nd of August. Your natal suns are square to Uranus, so there is some contention when it comes to your individuality, your uniqueness, like who you are without anybody else controlling you, a sense of getting in touch with and not having to constantly be challenged by the things that make you different, finding a way to embrace your differences and be proud of them, but also tension that could be about feeling like you don't have a right to do that. You don't have, like how is your own individuality or identity being challenged? That could be an ongoing, for the rest of this year, an ongoing strain or challenge or motivation, however you look at it. Your natal suns are trine the north node and sextile to the south node, which means you're getting more comfortable in where you can go through opportunities that are coming from what you're good at and what you're naturally talented at is starting to open you up to differences, things that are new to you and things that are more challenging to you. And then we have this interesting quincunx to Neptune and quincunx to Pluto. So there is this kind of spur in your side coming from both sides to be ingenuitive, to be bright, to be more creative in everything that you do. Maybe because you don't feel like being restricted or restrained anymore. And then we have an opposition to Saturn. If you're at the cusp of Virgo Libra would be, say, August 21st, 22nd, 23rd. This opposition to Saturn will be making you feel oppressed, especially with that square to Uranus. So there is this sense of, in some ways, you guys especially could be being contested. Your own uniqueness, personality, individuality, you're finding a lot of kickback. And in some ways, that's making you want to get in people's faces even more. So there could be dealing with your own personal identity and establishing your own identity in your community, always coming up against people's expectations of you. So honestly, I wish I could give you good news, but that's long term. Over the next year or so, this is what will be a kind of a primary underlying struggle in your life. You let me know in the comments below, Leo. I would love to know. And if you love this videos, please give it a like, and then subscribe to the channel so you can help us grow over here. Share this video if you know somebody else who would love it, and then come on over to Born Without Boundaries Tarot for your week ahead tarot message. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the videos. Bye, Leo.